picks. They pick up the Valentina. Now I'm already looking towards what the jungle might be here for BTR. If ever Echo takes out the typical Super Ken picks such as the Lancelot, maybe even the Hayabusa, we might end up seeing BTR whip out a Bane jungle
Alice.
to make sure they'll have some control. And maybe even Alice.
Alice jungle?
Alice? Oh, yo, Alice with an Angela just sounds good.
I don't like it.
A bit too slow.
Yeah.
A bit too scaly, maybe?
Yeah.
Scaly is what I'm worried about, right?
Yeah.
Again, Alice jungle, small window of opportunity. You need to be able to rotate around the map, get as many creeps as possible to be able to stack it. Unfortunately, going against Abaxia, who's going to definitely out-rotate you, I think it's a little bit too difficult for Bigatron to pull off here in this particular situation. Here, Bigatron in the second phase, they're going to prioritize taking away the Cho, and Echo go for the Ling ban. And I think that's a really good ban.
That is right. I mean, considering that you said mobility is going to be key for the side of Baxia and a hero that can equalize in that department, mobility is that link. So a good ban from the side of Echo. But it seems like Bigatron, they realize that they lack in that range department, being that Yves is on the opponent's side. So they ban another hero that has range, and that is the Leslie.
The bans here from both teams and the picks. There's an Angela on the other side. The Baksha on the third pick turns off the idea of potentially BTR slotting in an Esme or anything that just relies on even more heal, unless BTR are gonna surprise us all with their roamer pickup. I mean, with the Kadata Kaja Franco gone, a lot of Super Vince main heroes are gone. Although that Angela, yeah, is gonna be going to the hands of Super Vince. So BTR needs way more tankiness here in the jungle. They might actually whip out a Martis with the assassins getting taken away. I like the Martis as a potential pickup here for BTR.
Okay, here. So, again, asking a question here. If we're talking about assassins, I mean, Hellcat is still on the board here. I feel like it can be pulled off, considering later on, Hellcat will build DHS, potentially see a Halberd, but that early game here, Bigatron really needs to secure a hero to Hellcat just stay farm if they really want to commit an assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Bigatron now, I honestly would pick up the Esmeralda.
Yeah.
I would utilize that jungle as a flex at this point. Leave it to the last surprise pick.
Yeah.
Esmeralda?
Fredrin.
No, Fredrin. Alright, so a lot safer. Flexibility still can go to the EXP or even in the jungle.
Yeah, I'm thinking Echo, if they're going to consider picking up a Harith here.
Ooh.
So they're just going to have a Harith, a Joy, and an Eve. Going to be very... It's a greedy lineup, but it's something that can scale extremely fast if BTR don't handle their transition into the mid-game well. I'm leaning towards a Harith, but it might still be a marksman for Outblade.
Yeah, I mean, Beatrix is still open. Conventional marksman perhaps might be the pickup here.
Yeah, if it's going to be a Harith, then they're going to pick up a Kufa for Yawi also.
Oh.
Beatrix? But what are we thinking here? Beatrix, Brody, Melissa.
Yeah, a lot of conventional marksmen still open. Melissa would be great. Beatrix has the wave clear, so they bring it up. And it's a Minotaur. Right.
So good. So good here from side of Echo. I really like the Minotaur pick here. It just adds more stability. Again, they need someone that can soak in the damage alongside with Baksha. And let's not forget, Minotaur can heal, so sustainability is also there. Asking a big question here. What are you going to do? Because it seems like they lack burst from the side of Bigatron.
Yeah, they need another anchor here.
I think Martis.
Yeah, Martis and Fredrin as the last two picks would be great. Get them tanky boys, but nope, that's a Khalid! That's a Khalid!
Fredrin jungle.
Fredrin jungle and a Khalid in the XP lane. Interesting.
Wow.
Very, very interesting. I mean, it's cool that you don't see that Echo's putting all their eggs in one basket, meaning that they're not going so much in the early game. Like, just in case this goes mid to late, they do still have the Beatrix and the Minotaur in these team fights.
Alpha, and start to talk about how you stop that quicksand guard and Coach Aldo into it. Man, the Architect. Look, there's only two ways they can stop it. That jump from Zaida and the Minoan Fury.
Let's see how it'll play out.
And one more, maybe the desperation stop. Let's get into game one here into the Land of Dawn. It's an orange start for both Super Ken and Zaida.
Okay, for Zaida, he actually already cleared it out much faster with the Season Hunter and just on this Baxia. Sublime clearing. Meanwhile, up top, Sorizo already doing his thing on this Khalid, bullying Sanford, and even Sanji taking very low. Now, though, it's going to be the return from Sanford over to Super Vin, who's forced to flicker out.
And Yawi coming in maybe 2 seconds too late. If there was a little extra oomph in there, they definitely would have forced the issue up against Super Vin. So yeah, this is a great start for Echo, up by about 200, 300. But wait, how about down here? Oh, Zaida hits level 4 first.
Yeah, that was a win for the clearing speed. This is what the Baxia is picked for, right? Just that clear speed, man, and that rotation speed. He can dictate what happens on the map. Meanwhile, Yawi here already punishing Vin. No flicker. This should be first blood as Sanford jumps forward. Echo strikes first.
Sorizo here just doesn't quite have his ult just yet, so these big engagements, best believe, folks, it will hit a power spike when he does. Looking at the emblems, yeah, this is as usual and as basic as it gets. Nothing quite out of the ordinary. Again, the fact that we're looking at a Khalid here in 2023, rocking lethal ignition, means Sorizo will build in damage.
Feels like a Diablo game, right? I mean, with the Khalid, we're just missing a Badang, maybe in game number 2. But right now, Sorizo's doing a good job at Sony's side away, taking him to half HP. Good rhythm coming down. Sorizo might be in a bit of trouble here. Superken resets the turtle. Doesn't want to take this risk just now. No mid control.
Huge presence from Echo here. It's a 4-man pursuit. They're trying to get this. Sanford dives in the back.
Oh, Raging Storm onto the back line. Moreno following through. Superken finds the retribution on the turtle. And just like that, Yawi is now caught. 3 members of Bigatron Alpha takes him out.
They've deserted Yawi. It was a good engage. It looked good. They could have gone with the trampoline. Zaida's in trouble.
Double kill for Sorizo. The real world inflation stops them now. Rhythm coming down. Superken still able to find the purple buff.
And he finds Super Vin, but Sorizo once more. He can't be stopped. He goes for a triple.
Sorizo on the Khalid.
Mirgo's dancing, man, and it's not Takaldag, not quite yet. And Echo are making up for some lost time on the map. They take Little Wanderer, and they're given outplayed here as much on the map as possible. So we're waiting for these gold laners to come in and play. We haven't really talked about outplayed and Sakin much. And again, you'll see the trademark Brave Smite on a Claude. Yep. It's all in the name of sustainability.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very good emblem to take for Sakin. Understanding that Beatrix can actually have a pretty good say as to what's to come later on as well in these skirmishes. We saw in the previous series, Super Marco was able to utilize this Beatrix to completely, I would say, take control of CW on the Claude, who was using the Quantum Charge. You can get out, but these basic attacks, you can't dodge away from them, so you might as well just try to sustain from them.
Yep, and again, ooh, the killer instinct in Sorizo. It's either killer instinct or just the eagerness to look for a fight. Oh, down bottom, Sakin spends something to do to help clear. Now Zaida meets up with Superken and Sorizo.
Raging Storm, the taunt comes down, now the hard guard as well. Zaida, sort of the Poisons, but he's gonna be slain by Superken. The 2 blades from the Khalid and the Fredrin.
And not to mention, Super Vin was in there. It's so difficult playing an Angela. This definitely is the Angela meta. RWM from Moreno.
Stolen away, now Sanji's zoned out. And now the gold lead, the XP lead for Superken it has increased. Now, honestly, free turtle.
It's huge. 4.5 minutes in, and it seems like Bigatron Alpha have gotten into lockdown protocol. They're gonna start shutting down everything Echo will try to do. Bottom lane, gold lane seems to be the last bastion. It seems to be the last place where Echo can find farm. And I would not be surprised if slowly but surely Bigatron, especially as we enter the post-early game, they start to crack down there too.
Damn, Outplayed already sent into this mid lane as well. They're trying to just funnel it Outplayed now. They understand that, you know what, Bigatron Alpha have been taking a little bit too much from us, but they haven't been able to touch Outplayed, so now we played for him. Hard guard coming down, Terrify as well. Sorizo jumping back in with a Raging Storm. Zaida, good sidestep away. Real world manipulation, locking him down. He's still able to escape now. He gets taken out. Yawi is the one who gets the shutdown.
Here comes Stanford coming in from the north. A delayed response. Tries to pop Super Vin. Will eventually find him.
Renner's apathy coming down, but Stanford's the one who picks up the killing spree. Vengeance now, the blazing duet melts through him. Shut down for Moreno. And Superken with the Appraiser's Wrath takes a big chunk out of Outplayed's HP bar.
2 for 2, and Bigatron are happy to take these trades. Again, despite the early game having been all for Bigatron Alpha, and when a team that wants to scale up gets trades and delay the game, that's usually for the losing team. But here, Bigatron Alpha, again, they're coming in to shut down Protocol. They want to take everything away, and yeah, that engage was so good. And here, even with Stanford coming in from the north, yeah, they get a kill, but it's so difficult. The fact that even Outplayed can't get the farm he wants.
Yeah, he go for even more here in the back. Outplayed still able to cut away, and he produced Passion, not quite landing now. So Rizzo jumps back in. Yaoi's taken out. Zaida forced to go out to run away with the Tortoises Poissons. Meanwhile, here, even with the real world inflation, Moreno out damages Sanji. Super Vid has found the kill. So Rizzo in the back forces Zaida away.
Huge 3,000 gold lead. You definitely feel that BTR are outgunning Echo. And here, I can't even imagine a world where Echo thinks of contesting. So yeah, last turtle of the game, gonna give it over to BTR. I'm thinking of the outs for Echo, like where do they find a win? Because Chorizo is nigh unstoppable, 5-1-1. He's got the Heptasy, he's on his way to an Oracle. There he is, he picked it up.
My goodness, the slow snowball. I would say a death ball. Bigatron Alpha were able to utilize exactly that. That made RSGPH a special team back in MSC 2022.
Wait, are you saying BTR is like Mega Man? After defeating an opponent, they take their powers?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it seems like. I mean, Bigatron Alpha have been improving constantly. Supercan now jumping in the middle of this turret. Retribution used up by Zaida to clear up ways, but Supercan is still at full HP.
Got the hard guard in, and of course, just get that emotional damage in with the TPs. And Moreno waiting in the bush, looking for the punish. Oh, spotted. The Echo is so hungry for resources. And now, the engage by Yaoi.
Taunts it up now, forced to come back, forced to get chunked. As they look for a siege, they start grouping up in the mid lane. Zaida can no longer defend this. Supercan jumps in again, zoning the members away. They've gotten what they sought out for. Zaida, shield unity, not quite going to be able to utilize that to connect to any of the members. And in 8 minutes, the 4,000 gold lead. It's a very clean game, clinical from the robots.
Yep. It's laser precise, everything they've done so far. Even with 4 deaths coming in, 4 kills from Echo, they're all calculated. It's all worth it. They're all trades. Not a single turret, not a single turtle given over to the Orcas. And now I see, now I understand, now we respect it. Mirko, I understand now the Khalid on Chorizo. It rivals even El Diablo.
Oh, Yaoi now caught. Oh my goodness. Pops in him in his fury in desperation. Supercan jumps in, eats up the Venice Rage. Now punished, but into a fury from Moreno. Oh, into the back with the helm of the Raging Storm. Now Chorizo soaking all the damage. Jumping back in will fall to the likes of Outplayed. As that's a 1-for-1.
Oh no! 40 gets caught out by Sakin. Pops the Vengeance. That took so long to kill Chorizo. Just Chorizo, 3 members of Echo. Imagine that.
They had to use a lot of ultimates, a lot of resources. Even Sanford, he dove deep to buy some time. But he had to pop the Vengeance, the rhythm as well. Now BTR are clearing mid. They know how to play this Lord Dance, and they are tangoing with Zaida.
Oh, this is what they call the robot. As Supercan goes for the pull, Zaida making some space here. I wonder if BTR knows that Yaoi's in this bush. They spotted Sanji definitely walking into it. Now Chorizo. In that whole engagement, I just gotta say, the fact that there was already so much going on for BTR, and Chorizo hasn't even jumped in, makes it all the more a worse situation. Now they spot him. They're just baiting out the ults. They're baiting out the Sandstorm. Sakin gets a hard guard.
With the hard guard, he just walks up. He knows he can take anything that Echo throw at him, and all that is just to buy time for Supercan, get some space. They're taking it real slow. They want to time it really well for the minions to spawn next wave, for the Lord to spawn with the minions next wave.
Yep, so it's coming in about 30 seconds, folks, 10:45. And just like that, Echo may have spent maybe 4 or 5 seconds too long because they know they weren't going to contest anyways.
Wow.
And nope, nothing. You get nothing, sir. Supercan comes in, engages on Zaida.
Oh, they forced the Tortoises Poissons already. Before the siege, before the Lord. Leo, that's going to be on cooldown for the next skirmish, for the next team fight.
Yep, gonna be a huge detriment. A resource they definitely could have held on for. And here we see Lord now marching through bottom lane. Bigatron got their eyes on tier 2, not just in mid, but also up top. They're looking to break into Echo's base using this huge 7K gold lead.
Let's see if they can. Super Ken just recalling in front of Echo. Saken moving forward now, baiting out the base turret passive. Moretto going to be chunked quite low. Half HP, forced about that regen. With a nature built up by Saken. Good clear from Echo.
Great way of deterring a forced siege. So we can say that Echo are still breathing, or in their case, the Orcas, they're still getting oxygen from the ocean. And now here in mid, once more, it happened already, inevitable. All outside base turrets have been taken down, and here's another one, RWM by Moreno!
On the Sanji, taking him very low. His real-world inflation is not off cooldown just yet, but Bigatron Alpha, they're unable to crack a single base turret. Echo still holding on to the game. But BTR, they will take what they can, and right now, they can take everything in the jungle.
Man, it's not so often that the predator becomes prey. And here it looks like technology reigns supreme. The architect's blueprint put to reality on the land of Dawn. And again, another buff denied from Zaida. He's so hungry, he's starving right now. What's the goal difference between these two? Dear Lord, almost 2,000.
What's interesting is we saw the opposite when they first met in the playoffs. It was Echo, it was Zaida, who took everything away from Super Ken, and now it feels like it's a revenge arc. It's Super Ken's a villain arc. He's coming back with vengeance, and so far, he's getting exactly what he's coming to do.
Evil era. It's the robot overlords here, with Echo, oddly enough, becoming the underdogs. Let that sit, folks. The M4 World Champions, the MDL PH and MPL PH champions are the underdogs here, facing off against Bigatron Alpha. Looking at a 7,000 gold lead. Luminous Lord within arm's reach for BTR, and Echo can barely leave their base.
7.2k, Bigatron Alpha can just play it slow as they can, as efficient. Robotic even, these movements from Bigatron Alpha.
Here we see the blitz coming in from Saken and Superken, while Sorizo and Moreno put up a barricade, a perimeter. No members of Echo allowed here. Robots only. Lord Slain, it'll be spawned in 5 seconds.
Let's take a look, take a peek at Outplayed. What does he have in his inventory? Still 1,000 gold behind, but he has reached his power spike.
That's respectable.
Respectable, yeah.
Given what Echo has been through, the fact that he's just 1,000 behind and not a single death quite yet. So maybe that's what they're holding on for in this rainy day. That little bit of sunshine in their pockets as all lanes are synced in. BTR marching in.
And has Lord down below, gonna be charging, gonna be taking the base down for free. Bigatron Alpha, they put their resources into the mid lane now, trying to get 2. But Echo have dispersed, haven't able to micromanage. A good steal for the real world manipulation.
Well used. Now Moreno can just hold the RWM, wait for this big fat wave in mid, and Sanji pops his own.
But the shield popped down now. Moreno with a real world manipulation. Chorizo, wow, outplay with a good flicker out. Now Chorizo's caught between the base turrets. He jumps in, but Fury knocks him up, takes them down. And Echo are showing signs of life.
2 for none. Punished underneath this mid lane inhibitor. Echo are on the board for the first time in what seemed like a long time. I'd say the better part of the past 10 minutes. Echo couldn't do anything to BTR, and now they punish BTR for overstaying their welcome. This is the first time we've actually seen Echo cross the river.
And look at that, Zaida now giving Super Ken a taste of his own medicine, taking the purple buff away.
Grand Theft Purple here, 15 minutes in. Let's look at the item builds. Hey, Sanford closed the gap.
He did. 9k now, and this is the concern for the Khalid pick. Early game, I don't think there are any doubters to the way he can be a bully in lane. Oppressive, aggressive. But towards a later stage, he does fall off. He becomes sort of just a utility XP laner. He sustains and he stuns, but that damage falls off, and that's what we're seeing from Bigatron Alpha now. They're in deep waters. Echo have weathered the storm.
And now I'd like to build on that point, right? Chorizo, he's at a crossroads. Do I build more damage, or do I put an immortality on me right now? Because that's what that last item slot is going to be for. For the rest of BTR, it's great. It's a walk in the park up until it's not. And that's when they march into the base. So you're still looking at a very healthy gold lead here. No doubt Bigatron Alpha still in control. 6,000 gold ahead. But this next Lord, I can't help but think that maybe this Lord, especially if this fat wave up top eventually does find a way to break through that tier 1. It's a long lane. I'm wondering if maybe this is the one that Echo contests.
I think they have to at this point, right? They can technically turtle in their base, but why not put additional pressure to Bigatron Alpha? If they're somehow able to win a team fight, trade a few kills over for the Lord, or even better, just get the Lord, then they have a chance to completely take control.
They're looking for the turn. And boy, oh boy, what a miraculous turn it might be. So these are here. Down to half health.
Whoa, 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 a lot of damage coming down. So Rizzo not going to be stunned up, he's going to be picked up, but no! He flickers out to safety. Moreno buys the winner truncheon.
And he goes and spends this time in the bush to recall home. Look at Supervin just pushing top lane, forcing a response for Sanford. Heart guard into Sakin.
Zaida still with a shield unity. He's trying to look for an opening right now. He goes in. Moreno flickers out of the real world manipulation. Big resources spent already. Bigatron Alpha, do they take this fight?
All right, Heart Guard just expired. Lord down to a fifth of its health. They're looking for engage. RWM from Moreno.
Yeah, we meet Fury onto 3. So Rizzo jumps in, but Sakin gets gunned down. Now it's Supercan versus Zaida. And it's Zaida who wins it. Now Moreno forced to use the winner truncheon as Echo collapsed on the robots.
Remember his name, Zaida, formerly known as Mama Coco, the punish on Sanford.
Bigatron Alpha 7K down to 2. Echo are going to utilize it to completely equalize. 2 for 2, but Outplayed is still alive.
They've left that Lord up top to push that long lane. And RWM here. Oh no, it's hit critical mass. There's way much firepower coming in from Echo. They're going to penetrate.
Base turret down in the mid lane. From nothing to everything. Echo 3.7K Lord advantage.
Oh, not to mention that bottom lane too. Again, the enhanced waves for Echo. And it's scaled up too. I'm wondering if it hit at the evolved state. If it's at 18 minutes, oh Lord, just crashes in.
Brazer's Wrath going to be used up. So Rizzo hasn't been able to find any Raging Sandstorm. And that's why Echo...
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Renner's apathy even used up. Oh, Immortality pop! Super Ken forced back. Echo are going in. Sakin now. Oh, he's in the midst of it all. Pops into Purify. Gets out. Now Sanford in the back. Dealing a lot of damage, but gets forced back. Moreno pops into real world manipulation as Super Ken jumps forward. But now the base turret down below is that threat.
Oh, walking on thin ice. Many a team in the SPS Challenge Finals have fallen to this folly, overstaying their welcome. But it looks like Echo, they know how to dance this dance. They know how to temper their expectations. They couldn't push that top lane inhibitor quite yet. But I believe this is to their advantage. This is the first time in a while in this 19-minute game that they're actually the ones in the driver's seat. So they're trying to protect that lead as best they could.
It's a big W, a big fat W for Echo right now. I mean, look at the gold lead, completely gone. And speaking of the late game, Bigatron Alpha, what are they going to use Chorizo for? Now his damage has fallen off. Now his dashes, his stun can be dodged. It's very easy to dodge. We've seen it many times from Echo.
Yep, he's a sitting duck after that engagement and after he's tried to output the damage he can up until he needs to sit in a corner and think about what he's done with a quick sand guard. Can confirm, folks, he built an immortality. So yeah, this does send the message that, yeah, I just want to be annoying as hell. Supervin gets jumped on!
Oh, Renner's apathy even used up. Now Vin is going to fall. Super Ken trying his best to help his roamer. But with that, Echo have just taken control. Once again, they've taken the roamer. No more global presence.
All right, so good news for Echo is he's not rocking pull yourself together. He's actually gonna count up all the death timers here. And we're past TikTok timers. That should have been a life that Bigatron protected all the more because, again, Evolved Lord scaled up to 20 minutes, up for taken.
20 seconds on Super Finn. Bigatron Alpha, they can try their best to look for a cancel, to force Echo to reset. But at this point, Echo, they're committing. They do not want to let it go. They want a 50-50.
More than just a 50-50. Look at the control that Yaoi has asserted. He really wants this. He gets knocked up, gets the heal.
Ooh.
Oh, Super Ken comes in, but Zaida scores.
Big damage coming in, but now again, it's going to be Super Ken who falls in the front, even in the back. Sanford, beautifully done, distracting and zoning the back line. Moreno and Saken were a non-factor in the team fight.
I can only imagine there must have been a gap in the communication. Super Ken was a little in too deep, and I'm guessing he was making the call to Super Vin. Hearthguard now! Hearthguard now!
It was a bit too late at that point. Saken dealing some damage, but now with the Evolved Lord, Echo are just marching down. They want to play with the damage reduction. Saken gonna be chunked.
They're coming in. Lord, just a breath away from their base. Hearthguard on Saken!
Whoa, outplayed! Dodges away, flickers out. The blazing duet comes out from Saken right now. He's able to gun down the members. But now the real world manipulation popped in. Now it's gonna be the Lord chunking the base quite low. So Rizzo coming back, looking for some more damage. Mid waves as well for Echo.
40 very low. The base at a third of his health. They pop some immortalities. Yaoi goes.
With an nature popped in now for Saken. He's gonna be engaged on Minute Fury. Not with the flicker this time. Super Ken respawning with a taunt. Yaoi gonna be brought back to the team as Saken picks up the kill. Sanji in outplayed. Not given the space to go for the base. And Bigatron Alpha have defended.
Oh, outplayed! He gets caught!
Oh.
Immortality popped!
No immortality, knocked up, shut down! Moreno has taken outplay down, now going forward. Real world manipulation from Moreno. As Sanford dives in deep. Now looking for the damage. Winner Chuncheon gonna be bought in time. Gonna be selling it to the immortality. Moreno was baited, Sanford!
It's a bait on a bait! And with that, patience wins! Bigatron Alpha with the wipeout!
What a game! Again, it will always begin like this. It happened for Onyx versus AP Bren, and Bigatron Alpha have coin flipped back to a victory.
1-0. BTR takes the opening game.